I'm Emma, and this is the story of something I can't explain. It started when I moved into my first apartment in a quiet suburb of Columbus, Ohio. I was a college student, juggling psychology classes and a tight budget, so when I found this old building with creaky wooden floors and high ceilings, it felt like a steal. My room was small but cozy, a big window let in plenty of light, and I set up a desk for studying. But there was one thing that stood out, a huge antique mirror in the corner, its heavy wooden frame carved with faded flowers. The mirror had been left by the previous tenants. I thought about getting rid of it. Mirrors always made me uneasy, especially at night, but I decided it added a certain charm to the place. It's just furniture, I told myself. My friend Kate, who helped me move in, made a joke about not summoning Bloody Mary in front of it. I laughed, but when I caught my reflection, something felt off. My face looked normal, but there was a flicker in the glass, like a shadow passing behind me. I blamed it on being tired from the move. The first week went by smoothly. I spent my days studying, sipping coffee, and trying to make the apartment feel like home. But one night, around 2 a.m., I was up late cramming for an exam. The room was dim, lit only by my desk lamp, and I glanced at the mirror. My reflection looked wrong. My smile was too wide, and my eyes seemed hollow, like they belonged to someone else. I blinked, and it was gone, just my tired face staring back. My heart raced, but I told myself it was just exhaustion playing tricks. The next night, I couldn't stop thinking about the mirror. I tried to focus on my notes, but my eyes kept drifting to it. I was sitting at my desk, the lamp casting soft shadows, when I noticed something worse than before. I raised my hand to tuck my hair behind my ear, but my reflection moved, slower. It copied me, but with a delay, like it was struggling to keep up. I stared into my own eyes, and they looked darker, almost black, with a strange glint that wasn't mine. I jumped up, flipped on every light in the room, and stood in front of the mirror. Nothing. Just me, pale and freaked out. "You're imagining things," I said out loud, trying to calm down. I even made a note on my phone. Less coffee, more sleep. But that night, I couldn't close my eyes without feeling like someone was watching me from the corner. The next day, I called Kate and told her what happened. She's into spooky stuff and got way too excited. "Maybe it's a cursed mirror. You should dig into its history." I rolled my eyes, but couldn't shake the idea. Later, I checked the mirror and found something carved on the back of the frame, property of E. W. 1923. I had no idea who E. W. was, but the date gave me chills. This thing was older than my grandparents. That night, I heard something. A whisper, so faint I thought I imagined it. "Emma," it said, coming from the direction of the mirror. I froze in bed, my heart pounding. I turned on the light, but the room was empty. The mirror stood there, reflecting my terrified face. I grabbed a blanket and threw it over the glass, hoping it would help me sleep. When I woke up, the blanket was folded neatly on the floor. I know I didn't touch it. The mirror was uncovered, and the room in its reflection looked darker, like it was draining the light. My stomach churned, but I tried to rationalize it. Old apartments have drafts, don't they? Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching me. I called my landlord, Mr. Hargrove, a gruff older man with a smoker's rasp. I asked about the mirror, hoping he'd know something. He said it was there when he bought the building decades ago. "It's a nice piece, real antique." "Shame to toss it," he said, sounding annoyed. I begged him to take it away, but he laughed it off. "That mirror's part of the house's soul, kid." I hung up, feeling more trapped than ever. That night, the whisper came back, clearer and more insistent. "Come to me," it said, soft like a lullaby but heavy with need. It was coming from the mirror, I was sure of it. I lay in bed, clutching my phone, too scared to move. The voice seemed to curl around me, filling the room with a weight I couldn't explain. I tried to record it, fumbling with my phone in the dark, but when I played it back, there was only static and the faint whistle of wind outside. The next day, I told Kate everything. She suggested we try something practical, take photos of the mirror to see if it was just a trick of the glass. We spent an hour snapping pictures with my phone, trying different angles, different lights. My hands shook as I scrolled through the images. In every single one, there was a faint silhouette behind me, a girl with long, dark hair, standing too close. Her face was blurry, but her eyes were sharp, locked on me. I was alone when we took those photos. Kate wanted to do a seance or something crazy, but I needed real answers. I went to the local library, a dusty old building downtown, and dug through their archives. I found a newspaper from 1923, yellowed and brittle. The headline made my blood run cold. Local girl, Eliza Wilson, vanishes from home. Eliza lived in my building. The article mentioned a photo she took in front of a large mirror, the last time anyone saw her. I couldn't stop thinking about the initials E.W. carved into the frame. That night, I pushed my dresser in front of the mirror, hoping it would keep whatever was inside from reaching me. I couldn't live with that mirror anymore. I called a furniture removal service, and they said they'd pick it up the next morning. That night was the worst. The whispering didn't stop, it was louder, almost desperate, echoing in my head. Don't leave me. Stay with me. I blasted music through my headphones, some random pop playlist, to drown it out. I kept my eyes on the ceiling, away from the dresser blocking the mirror, but I could feel it there, like a presence pressing against the room. When I woke up, things were wrong. My books were rearranged on the shelf, stacked in neat piles I didn't make. My lamp was moved, now sitting right next to the dresser, its cord snaking toward the mirror like it wanted to be closer. My coffee mug, which I'd left on the desk, was on the floor, turned upside down. I told myself I was stressed, sleep-deprived, anything to avoid the truth. But my hands were trembling so badly I could barely pick up my phone. The movers were coming soon, so I had to move the dresser to let them get to the mirror. I took a deep breath and pushed it aside, avoiding the glass. But I couldn't help it, I looked. My reflection didn't move. I raised my hand, waved, even stepped to the side, but the Emma in the mirror just stood there, staring with cold, unblinking eyes. Then she smiled, a slow, unnatural grin that stretched too wide. My stomach dropped. I wanted to run, but my feet felt glued to the floor. In the reflection, another figure appeared, a girl with pale, almost translucent skin and long, dark hair that hung like a curtain. She stood behind me, her hand resting on my shoulder. I felt nothing, no touch, no weight, but in the mirror, her fingers tightened, her nails digging into my skin. Her face came into focus, hollow cheeks, lips pressed into a thin line, and eyes that burned with something I couldn't name, anger, longing, maybe both. She leaned closer, her breath fogging the glass from the inside. "Stay," she whispered, her voice echoing in my skull. I screamed and bolted out of the room, slamming the door so hard the frame rattled. I ran down the stairs, out of the building, into the cold morning air. I don't know how long I stood there, shaking, before I realized I'd left everything: my phone, my bag, my keys. When the movers arrived, they found the apartment empty. The mirror stood in the corner, its surface gleaming, not a speck of dust on it. One of them swore he saw a shadow flicker inside, like someone moving just out of sight, but he didn't say anything to his boss. They hauled it to a storage warehouse, where it sits now, locked away in some forgotten corner. The new tenants in my apartment complain about whispers at night, soft and pleading, coming from the walls. I found an old photo of Eliza Wilson in the library's archives, and I can't unsee it. She looks so much like me, it's like staring at my own ghost.